And we are back to the legendary and famous console wars. Alright, now we might admit that this traditional behavior is slightly outdated, but truth to be told, it's never ending, and we don't have a choice. Like I love to call it, the consoles battle results from Sony and Microsoft are pushing themselves to the edge to satisfy gamers like you and me. So, who strictly will come out on top between Sony's PS5 and Microsoft's Xbox Series X? Join me in the quest to find out who wins the next-gen war. Design and aesthetics. Microsoft has heavily invested in services and cloud technology, but Sony isn't static either. Sony has not just created a next-gen console, but through PlayStation, they have also made available a library of classic PS4 games, tagged the PlayStation Plus collection, which is to be on sale at the PS5 launch. Now there is a big difference between these consoles. Xbox had earlier revealed its design long ago, but surprisingly, PS5 has gone with an unprecedented next-gen space look in its online launch. Starting with the Xbox Series X, Microsoft has a more traditional outlook, reasonably conservative. Microsoft has chosen a sleek black box appearance that takes a sufficiently business-like appearance. The Xbox looks delightfully geometrical with a vertical PC tower resemblance. It can also be placed horizontally and has a noticeable Xbox logo on the upper left corner. Sony's PS5 is nothing like we expected it to be. It shows excellent artistic skills and is quite adventurous. Sony has adopted a next-generation design shaped like a rounded black rectangle, extending white fins in a triangular pattern. It is striking, I have to admit. Now keep in mind that there are two different configurations, the standard version with a disk drive and a digital version with no disk drive. And of course the prices vary, but we'll get to that later. Moving on, it all boils down to personal taste and preference. Both consoles are more prominent than their predecessors. Sony is rather abstract with its design, and Microsoft has gone for a sleek black vertical box. The design has zero effect on the console's gaming ability though. They're just simply aesthetics, and we can't tell how they feel and look until we actually see it in person, so I guess we'll just wait and see till then. Specs and graphics. Let's proceed to more outstanding components of these consoles. Both consoles seek to take over the next gaming generation with separate, exclusive, and highly impressive hardware. You know how it goes, you always want to get the strongest, biggest, and baddest console. Now understand that Sony and Microsoft have plans to revolutionize the gaming world in each production. All that idea and genius thoughts are in one hardware packed in your sleek black box or white box, so you can expect an iconic central processing unit functioning as the brain of the console and a powerful graphics controlling unit functioning at the heart of the console. These two work hand in hand, delivering fantastic realistic visuals. Let's begin with the PlayStation 5. Sony released the hardware specifications as far back as October 2019. The PS5 is packed and powered by a custom 3rd generation Ryzen chip, an 8-core 3.5 GHz AMD Zen 2 CPU, and a 10.3 teraflop AMD RDNA2 graphics architecture. The GPU is a variant of AMD Radeon Navi. It supports ray tracing and can simulate 3D audio. The PS5 boasts of a custom-built 825GB running SSD with a lightning speed of 5.5 GB per second. It also comes with a 12-channel interface and an expandable SSD bonus storage face. Besides, PS5 has added Tempest Engine, a new audio tech that allows hundreds of concurrent sound sources. Now on the other hand, Microsoft has successfully integrated the CPU and GPU in the Xbox Series X. A custom system in collaboration with AMD resulted in an 8-core Zen 2 system running at 3.8 GHz. Further, the GPU is based on AMD's RDNA2 graphics that offers 12 teraflops 56 CUs at 1.825 GHz. Now, Xbox Series X has 16 GB of GDDR6 RAM paired with 1 TB of custom SSD running at 2.4 GB per second in terms of storage. You can also support your console with Xbox Series X official storage expansion card. The PS5 and Xbox Series X consoles have similar hardware components, such as the 8K resolution, but there are slight differences and we really can't tell you yet which is more powerful until we are able to test run it ourselves. But if you do look closely enough, you'll spot a slight superiority in specs in the Xbox Series X. There's no incredible difference in each of the console CPU, although Xbox Series X is a bit faster. Now, our guess is a slight difference in graphics. PS5 has a GPU processing power of 10.5 teraflops, while the Xbox Series X has a GPU processing power of 12 teraflops. So probably the difference of 1.7 could make a difference in graphics. Till we test run both consoles ourselves though, we'll agree that they are both powerful, have similar CPUs, but the Xbox Series X marginally has more astonishing graphics than the PS5. Exclusive games. This is one of the most exciting parts of getting a new console, at least for me. Exclusive and launch games. So what do we know about the PS5 exclusive? Well, for starters, my personal favorite so far, Spider-Man Miles Morales. Now you can't expect more dynamic combat and the same fluid web swings, but with more splendid visuals. Horizon 2 Forbidden West, a sequel to the Horizon Zero Dawn, and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, a highly colorful game, and then finally Resident Evil Village. Now, for Microsoft's Xbox Series X, you can expect Halo Infinite, which sadly won't be available at launch. Other exclusive games include Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, and Fable 4, which is instead a shocking reveal. Okay, let's be honest here, we know the Xbox Series X exclusive games won't be exclusive to the console alone. It's probably going to be available for Xbox One and PC. Now this could be a good thing. Based on exclusive games, you don't have to own the console before playing those exclusive games. Contrastingly, PS5 has exclusive game restrictions, so it does depend on whether you think the exclusive games are good or bad. Controllers. The Xbox Series X and PS5 have unveiled their controllers, and it's genuinely a thing of beauty with slight upgrades here and there. Now we can't tell you how it feels since we've never used it, but we know massive improvements on the controllers per console. Here are some of the features of the DualSense PS5 controller. A complete do-over for the PlayStation design with two colors, black and white. Minor upgrades to the grip and a changed angle of the trigger. L2 and R2 buttons, adaptive triggers. This helps you feel the difference when using weapons in a game. You can differentiate the feel of a pistol from a shotgun through the tension in the adaptive triggers. A new Create button that replaces the Share button. A USB Type-C port, which can be used on modern smartphones, also for charging and connectivity. It retains a higher capacity rechargeable battery, light bar, internal speaker, and touchpad. Built-in microphone. Improved haptic feedback. This is the most impressive feature for me. This is done through the rumble settings and produces special effects. For better understanding, the haptic feedback refers to how the controller shakes when there is an explosion in the game, such as when you hit the ball on the crossbar in FIFA. Meanwhile, the Xbox Series X will have a matching color with its controller, so let's talk about some features of the console's controller, shall we? A share button placed in the middle of the controller to record videos and share images on the system. Dynamic latency input, a hybrid D-pad, an altered form factor, a new size, new shape, and textured shoulder buttons. The Xbox Series X controller changes are mainly fan requested with little additions. Meanwhile, PS5 focused on improved touch control. Altogether, both controllers are convincing and can serve you well. Now there is no doubt that PS5 was more ambitious, and we witnessed the return of a classic with the Xbox Series X controller, but it was seemingly dull. Price. That's what you've all had your mind on the whole time, right? How much do these beauties cost? Well, the PS5 will cost $500 for the standard version with a disc drive, and the digital version will cost $400. Sony revealed the console would be available in select areas from November 12th and globally on November 16th. The Xbox Series X will also cost $500 and launch on November 10th with pre-orders starting way back in September. There you have it, guys, the battle of the consoles. Now I will ask you one more time, PS5 versus Xbox Series X. Who will win? Let us know in the comments.